The Eye of Ra, or the later version Horus, revealed in so many places. All in plain sight, they say, like Cleopatra's Needle in New York, telling the tales of how Ra and Horus destroyed the humans. And maybe Cleopatra was actually Hathor all along. That messes with the timeline, doesn't it? And speaking of timelines, Horus of course plays into the timepiece from last week. Horus is an anagram of hours. Hours turns into days, or are you in a daze? Days turns into a week, or are you weak? The end of the week brings the weekend, or are you weakened? Weeks turns into month, which is rarely month, and the blood ritual cycle and the Saturn moon matrix. Months turns into years, or is it why ears? Because people don't listen. Years turns into a decade, where we have decayed. Now there are many other movies that could have been referenced, some of which we have highlighted before, like The Wizard of Oz, which is a classic mind control based movie. And the trailer of the new Matrix movie is called Resurrection. It was released on 9/9. Is that a coincidence? But the movie was originally scheduled for December 21st last year, and I guess their plans for that date went awry again. But also, our plans went awry due to the trustee meddling in things she's not equipped for. So now the movie is coming out, interestingly not on the solstice, but the following day, which bears great interest, and I will give insights into that short trailer. Now the date still has the mirrored 12/21 with the month and the year, but not the day in it. And the day has moved to 22, which is double 11, which symbolises Yashin and Boaz, and also the Twin Towers, which was to be symbolic of the fall of duality into the one. So why duality into the one? Well, the one is 1-0-0, and their binary codes referenced many times in this show. But one with the one leaves out another one, which is the missing piece of the puzzle. And when the missing piece is added, it becomes the one-on-one with the one, and we'll see further examples of that shortly. But that one is the one world government, one world currency of the dead, and one world religion based on the cult of Ra and the worshipping of Lucifer. Now the open sequence of the Matrix trailer raised eyebrows and wry smiles from me, as the first word on the screen was Thomas, followed by a black cat, which symbolises the egregore cats, and then the words, "You seem pretty triggered right now." The mention of Thomas, cats and triggering in the opening sentence. Is that indicative? What a coincidence that is. And Neo said I had dreams that just weren't dreams. And we have covered that quite a lot in our shows. They are not dreams. They are other versions of what we call reality. And they are snippets of prior, current or future existence or events. And the main thing about those dreams or portions of existence is, what do you believe? Do you trust what you believe and experience? Do you ultimately trust you? And the questions of is it real? Am I going crazy? Will dissipate with belief and trust in and of the self. And you cannot get belief or trust externally, only internally. It's your truth, your reality, and nobody else's. And so the question is, do you believe? And if so, what do you believe? Now the next up in the trailer is the bridge over the water. Will you take or make the leap of faith? Then there was a bathtub scene. Will you float or will you drown? And he has a duck on his head. Will you duck reality or will you wear reality? And what followed next was a Masonic handshake and a chain bracelet with a lock, symbolising the chain of us to the system and the matrix per se, called a C lock or clock, governed and controlled by time. And the next question was, have we met? And Neo looked unsure, symbolising the memory loss of being attached to the system that feeds your head. And then it went into playing the song The White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane. And that was bizarre when it came out and remains bizarre to this day. And some people say you can only understand that song when high on drugs. No, we understand better when high on knowledge and understanding the code in which these people operate by. One pill makes you larger and one pill makes you small. One pill is blue and one is red. The dancing dualistic choice of duality only that they've fed us for centuries, hence the feed your headline. The illusion of choice, and the majority picked the choices offered to them, but the reality, like the song, remained the same. But we forget to not take the blue or red, the larger or small. The blue and red pill were their choices they offered. They were not our choices to make. Yet people consented willingly because of an inability to think for themselves and the memory loss of triality. The triality choice also symbolises the one-on-one with the one. Now the internet was swarmed with spellcast words that became synonymous with the Q movement and how everyone should be red-pilled. And the irony is, those that mentioned the red pill have been red-pilled by the MKUltra mind control program. Oops. The red pill is LSD, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, and was used to drug people in the MKUltra program, of which eventually there becomes a point of no return. And we will see or hear more references to MKUltra later. And maybe the COVID jab is the red pill. The line in the song, tell 'em a hooker smoking caterpillar. Well, after the caterpillar comes the transformation into the butterfly. And the butterfly is a reference to an MKUltra monarch slave. The next scene is a box, and all around him are using technology devices to keep them all distracted. Whilst the song says, "And the one pill that mother gives you don't do anything at all." This pill don't do anything at all. In actuality it did, because the mother is the Dark Mother, the Black Madonna and the Kali Ma, and ultimately the Eve and Lilith. And then they show you the scene throwing away the blue pills, which is subtle seducement into the red pill program of mind control, because the applied logic that the blue pill didn't work, and so the red one has to. Nope. They were both designed to not work. It's the yin and yang, the Republican and Democrat, Labour and Conservative, communism and socialism, Enki and Enlil, Rothschilds and the Black Sun, all two sides of the same dark forces coin and game. And the people kept making the same choices over and over again, like a loop. Why? Because it is a loop until you step out and develop your heart thinking and triality. It then said, go and ask Alice, and showed the book Alice in Wonderland through the looking glass. Alice is the name of the old AI, and the looking glass technology is replicated with the mirror. And the key is not to look in the mirror, but at the mirror. The person in front of the mirror is a copy of the copy in the mirror. In essence, it's like being in the metaverse. The real you is behind the person in front of the mirror, watching the copy look at the copy. You will see that yourselves when you have developed enough, from behind or from the back of the mirror. But people often get offended if you speak in the third person. I wonder why. Ponder and think deeply on that, because maybe you will see. Look at the title, Alice in Wonderland, not Alice at Wonderland. If you wonder, you will manifest. Careful what you think and wish for springs to mind. But do you think it's a coincidence that Alice is blonde-haired and blue-eyed? Well, if you have listened to the previous From Russia with Love episodes, you will know the answer as to why. Now, greeting Alice by the tree is the cat. Always the cat, which echoes the Eve narrative and meeting the serpent in the tree. Perhaps snake and fur has a deeper meaning now. Alice in the book took potions, which is poisons. That one drink that was labelled drink me, then made a small, and then a cake was offered with the words eat me and made a tall. But drink me and eat me are both suggestive mind control. Just like in the movie They Live, consume, obey, buy and other commands. Just like the computer and the command program on there. An all black screen that you can change with the knowledge into your own command line. Ponder on that. And this could also be in reference to the life force essence drink, which was shown in Jupiter Ascending, which made them small, like humans. But if you eat it, it makes you tall, like the Nephilim. Neo then looks in the mirror and his appearance changes. That is the mirror, which is the portal or the rabbit hole, offering a host possession or showing your host possession. And the lesson is, like it says in the song, don't go chasing rabbits. Which means the alt media meme of going down the rabbit hole is another version of spellcasting and mind control. Oops. Now the red pill is offered with the words time to fly. Fly where? You don't need a red pill or drug to fly. Once you develop the self outside of the 3D matrix reality game, outside of time. And then a tattoo flashes up of a rabbit with a 5-pointed star, which likely represents Taurus, a 5-star system because Taurus constellation is a V, which is 5. Now Taurus, which means the bull, which is symbolized by the Baphomet, and the brightest star in Taurus is Aldebaran. And those who have followed my show will know that the Aldebarans were the ones that were helping the Nazis, as was the Catholic Church also. Why? Because they operate by the bull as well, as in papal bull, or perhaps it's papal Baal. And the importance of various bull figures was represented in the mythologies of ancient Sumer, Akkad, Assyria, which was the scene of the third Garden of Eden the Hebrew Anunnaki cult built, Babylon, Egypt, Greece and Rome. Are you connecting the dots now? Now, to the early Hebrews, Taurus was the first constellation in their zodiac, and consequently it was represented by the first letter in their alphabet, Aleph. The next line in the trailer, it says, if you want the truth, Neo, you're going to have to follow me. Well, guess what the Arabic word for follower is? Aldebaran. Boom. And Neo goes through the mirror and is greeted by Asians, Syrians, who were heavily represented in an earlier scene. And it says, if you go chasing rabbits, then you know you've gone too far. And the only thing that matters to you is still here, they said to him, which is why you are still fighting and why you will never give up. And then ensued a fight scene which Neo didn't partake in. He used his energy to remove the fighter, and that ends any fighting. So how does that work, you may ask? Because if challenged, you have to fight. But it's not real. And so you use your abilities to dispel it, dispel or dispel. Remember in the show I told you all not to run in your dreams. Turn around and face it, and you will always overcome it or them. That scene proves it. And the key to it all is they want you to play their game. And you have forgotten your own choice again. You don't play their game. You play your own game, where you make the rules, the time and the stage. And then scenes from an underground cities is then shown, with the line, "When logic and proportion have fallen sloppy dead, and the White Knight is talking backwards, and the Red Queen is off with her head." Now my interpretation of that is the White Knight talking backwards is the loop, and it also represents the chessboard game of which we the people are not on the board. We are not on the chessboard. And the pawns are in essence the Illuminati, not we the people. All played on their black and white Masonic board, but black and white are not opposite. They, like mentioned earlier, are two sides of the same coin, the yin and yang, are both dark also. And the Knights Templar, like the Rook and Bishop Templars, all protect the Queen. So who is or was the Queen? The Red Queen, who was one of the last two remaining parents, neither of which are in here anymore, neither of which will be returning. The Red Queen is off with her head, literally, and can only be seen in here by virtual intelligence. It is not real. So the Red Queen left here with her head in a machine. It is uploaded consciousness technology. Feed your head is the repeating line. They fed our heads with their utter drivel, and the antidote is to feed your heart, not your head. Your head can be controlled by them via red pilling, TV and other methods, but connection with the heart renders that interaction mute. What is truth? What is real? What is illusion? Who are you? And what can you be? All comes with self-mastery and the Excalibur sword of self-mastery for those with an open heart. Now, Sloppy Dead and the title called Resurrection, in my opinion, are linked and connected with the zombie apocalypse which they had planned in 2017 and was stopped. The final dot connection on this piece is, and goes back to earlier, and MK Ultra I said would reference again. Is it a coincidence? The matrix scene and the binary codes are seen in green. Why is that? You may all wonder. Remember the colour-coded programs ran by Dr. Green? Mengele program, which was the MK Ultra program. Green is the mind control program and part of their colour-coded programs like Blue, which is everything connected to ETs. Blue Beam, Blue Book, Blue Avians are all part of the ET colour-coded program. Yes, you, Wilcock and Good, and your Blue Chickens bullshit. Now, MK, as in Ultra, can mean lots of things. Perhaps it's the Mother Kali program, or Marduk's Kingdom, or wait for it, the Magic Kingdom program. Ain't that right, Disney? Oh my God, he's ruined Disney as well now. He's ruining everything. Ain't that right, Rochelle? And Michelle. Well, remember, Disney ran the Mad Hatter Alice in Wonderland, Giant Rabbits, The Lion of Judah King, Lion Bastards more like it, Transformer, or is it Transhuman, along with underground tunnels or portals stealing the children into the world of Alice and the AI. You're not buying the Disney theme? Maybe we'll have more than that in a future show. It is a small world, after all. Oh, and by the way, the It's a Small World song is part of the mind control program. Back to the song then. Remember what the Dormouse said. They were taking the mickey. Now, a dormouse is known for sleeping or hibernating for very long periods, just like humans in the past with the sleeping pods, which left us 10,000 years behind in time. And the great question for you all now is, will you develop yourself enough to be able to change your own matrix sequencing and code? So what have we all learned? Is it that fact is fiction and fiction is fact, it seems? Will we accept their reality offered, or will we manifest our own reality and start on our own space and space line again? On and in a timeless world of true enlightenment.